What's up, guys? It's Chris here, and I am joined by Dino. Dino is a content creator, a Veve and OMI content creator. I'll definitely put all of his socials on the description of this, and at some point show you his YouTube page. What's up, Dino?
What's up, bro? How you doing, man? It's good to hang out and chat.
Yeah, dude. Honestly, yeah, it is. It's been a rough week. It's for lack of better words to be a Veve fan. So
Yeah, it's been rough.
I
It's
was
been
thinking
fun.
today, like I've been pretty pessimistic about everything going on, and I feel like I let it all out, and it's time for a little bit of optimism. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, man.
Where'd you
How,
vent?
how
Twitter
have you been
Spaces?
feeling with everything?
Yeah, I've been feeling good. I mean, my people from my channel know, like, they're already spamming some eggs. Um, I don't mind talking like straight up the truth. Like, this is how I feel, but it doesn't change that I still like believe in the project. I think you can have a well-rounded opinion, like of like, I don't like this, but I really like this. And so I just don't like the flip-floppiness, like that
Hmm.
personally. Like, I don't like that it's like you can buy gems off app. Oh God, we're banning everyone, So it's just a lot of fear. And I don't, so I sensed it in my Discord. Like everyone's like, oh God, am I in trouble? And I'm like,
Sure.
you guys, all we can do is just, try our best, like prove, through your chats that you paid for it, you didn't know. And so at the end of the day, I mean, I still bought a ton of stuff today. I'm still bullish on Veve, I think long term. I'm more of a new, we were chatting even before, like I'm like bullish on some of these new pieces coming out though. Like
Hmm.
I think some future grails are going to be insane on Veve.
Yeah, I completely agree. And all right, for that reason, I know we were talking before, and you are more of a flipper, which is funny because like I'm like a pretty hardcore flipper, but I did get into a stage to where I started flipping into sets and keeping those sets for the Master Collector program. And so for the Master Collector program, hopefully allowing me to be able to get some of these these future grails at like drop price. Um,
Ooh, yeah, good call.
so
I'm bullish on MCP personally. Very.
cool, man. Yeah, I was going to ask you that. You're pretty bullish on that.
Oh yeah, yeah. I pretty my play. I mean, it's a simple play, but I do it every comic now. It's always rare ultra rares. For me, I always pick up a rare ultra rare when they're cheap. I try to get two of each because then I put them in my wife's account too. So then we're both stacking MCP points because I don't want to get the 50% hit. If you
Yeah,
stack rare ultra rares, you get a 50% hit on the point. So I buy two of each, put one in each of
smart.
our accounts, and I'm trying to like stack points for MCP. I think if you can get the secret rare Vader on drop, dude, you're gonna be set. That's a freaking car. You could probably buy a car with that thing. You could whatever.
I don't know if I can pull it up while we were talking, but I saw something. I'm gonna look for it kind of passively. The other day, I actually remember who tweeted it, so I'll probably be able to find it. But it basically showed how many holders were holding like over 100 collectibles, and then how many
Mm.
were holding over 200 and then 300. Did you see that chart?
Yes, I saw
Um,
that chart. I just didn't know like if the source was good, but I saw the chart, but I just didn't
the
know.
person who yeah, the source was good because he used immutable X Immutascan while things were slow to be able to see like wallet history and everything. So I trust it. Again,
Okay.
I don't know if I'm able to bring it up, but my point of me saying this is at first I got a little pessimistic about it because there was way less people holding over our 100 collectibles and comics than I thought.
Mm.
So I was like, oh God, maybe our numbers are like significantly lower user base than we
Yeah.
expected. But then I was thinking, I don't think it's is as much that as it is. There's just a really low percent that actually have over 100 collectibles, which would
Mm.
make sense. I remember when I did a chart when we were on GoChain. I think at the time like 1 million OMI put you in like the top 10% of holders, which is
Oh
like
dang.
to me like 1 million OMI would put you in like the top like if I was just were to guess before reading that would put me in like the top like 30 or 40%. But I feel like a
Yeah.
lot of people who are already in Veve, especially who've been here for a while, are probably in a better position than they think they are. You always
Mm.
compare yourself to the Wells,
Dude, that's
and
interesting.
you're always like, oh God, I don't have like that level of collectibles and comics. But when you see charts and you're like, oh, well, I have that many. Like, am I on the top 10, 5% of users? Okay. And then you start to think about it. When MCP comes out, it's going to be based on the amount of collectibles you have, sets, comics, and all that. What if you are tremendously better off than you think you are? Then that increases your chances of being able to get
I
these
like
drops a
that.
lot more than you think you do. So just a perspective.
So what did the chart say? That's crazy. I didn't think about it like that. That's really interesting.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to bring it up. His name was the Lone Ranger on Twitter. And like on the one of the worst things about no offense to anybody who has them, but the little O's, like the red O's, is they're so hard to search on Twitter.
Oh,
Like I go to search
yeah.
like when I'm not on my iPhone, because now I'm like because I don't remember his actual like Twitter like handle.
His Twitter name, yeah.
And I think he had an O at the beginning of it, and it's like impossible to find on on desktop.
That's
But his name
awesome.
was the Lone Ranger. And yeah, I can't find it. But yeah, so basically, I think the math was around if you hold over 100 collectibles. Again, I'm not saying this like as fact. Like I would love to find it, but it puts you in around like the top 1% of holders.
That's awesome.
Yeah, which is like pretty dang good. And that increases your chances a good bit.
What about comics? Because your boy doesn't have 100 collectibles.
Yeah, I don't know if that. Oh, I just saw him and I think I backed out. I don't know if that's comics and collectibles or together.
Yeah, because I just picked up 60 comics today, so I'd like it.
And then I also saw something the other day. Like, this was a he said she said thing, but I found them. But they were saying that like according to Dan Crothers, the what is it? In order to be like a common user, it means you log into Veve 3 times a month. So when we're seeing like reports of like we're seeing reports of like common users, that doesn't necessarily mean people like me and you that's probably checking every day. That probably means like
I check like 5 times, 30 times a day.
Right?
Should I admit that?
All right, here I have one of the charts pulled up. This actually wasn't the one that I saw. Whoops. Wait, it's the wrong screen. Here, I'll come back to that. Where was it? Let's put this on here. Okay, this should be good. This is one of the charts. This isn't the one I saw. This is the current data from Immunoscan. The most interesting takeaway from this, in my opinion, is that 1.5% of users own more than 100 collectibles, and over 56% of users only own one collectible on Veve.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, that's a very interesting number. And again, when I talk with people, me and Veve Vibes debated this because I've always been bullish on MCP and he hasn't. Again, like everybody's like, oh, I'm going up against like the Wills and stuff. Like you technically are, but if you've been here for a while and you own a decent amount of collectibles, you're in the orange. So like you're gonna have a lot more chance of being able to hit one of those drops than somebody who's obviously in the blue or like just getting started.
Yeah, so that's more top 1%. Man, I might have a good chance then. Let's go.
Yeah, man. So in order to get this data, you ask like the source. You can actually go to Immunoscan, and it shows you like the tokens minted on Veve. It does say that there's 563,000 unique owners. This should all be accurate. I'm not entirely sure how he broke it down as far as the categories. I'm sure there's a way to do it, but I don't really feel like trying to figure that out on live. But you can go to Immunoscan and kind of play with it yourself to show.
That's bullish. 563,000 owners. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, that definitely makes sense. Another thing about this is, during the last AMA, they did talk about refreshing the metadata, which I'm super excited about. That's another thing I would say I'm like bullish on. So basically, if it's on Immutable X's in and not on Veve's in, which I really, really hope that it is, we'll be able to actually see images along with these, with this metadata. So instead of just like kind of randomly guessing the ID and these like wallets or whatever, like there will actually be an image of like a Rizzo right here. Hopefully you'll see the mint number. You'll see a lot more than just like than just this, because this, for somebody like me who's on who's looking at wallets pretty consistently, this doesn't suffice for me. So we're supposed to get a refresh of metadata.
No, we need more. No, we need more. Sure. And I think you inspired me to think about that too. I'm very bullish. I mean, everyone says OMI to NFT. It's not about OMI to NFT until we get Immunoscan, until we get interoperability, because crypto heads, they want to be able to see it over there. They want to be able to put it in their wallet. And that's going to be huge. I mean, that's a lot of money that could come in, and that's good for us. Like, talk about new user base, talk about ETH money. Like, it's just good money.
Yeah, bro. People don't realize how much money people have in ETH. Like, it's nuts. I've been, again, I work full time or nearly full time for a project on OpenSea that tracks wallets, which, by the way, I've been like trying to pitch to my boss. This is really good. Like, I don't know alpha, but this is for all of you that are watching. This is really cool. So it allows you to track smart wallets. And so basically, like, you can have influencers and whales, traders, whatever. So I could have Dino up on my phone. And every time you buy something on OpenSea or sell it, I get a notification saying you bought it or sold it. So I've been kind of like poking my boss at like, hey, you should try to make that work with a layer 2. Because if that works with a layer 2 and then Veve is interoperable and now on Immutable X, then we could literally have each other, like we could track our friends and family and good traders. You know, I could say, oh, dang, you know, Dino just bought 10 night nurses or like, or I don't know if I should say this. I don't really feel bad about it, but whatever. Like people like Ray Fixie, who like obviously has enough money to move floors. You could see what he's buying when he buys it before he tweets about it. So like, you know, yeah, exactly. So like you could see that he bought like, you know, 20, let's make up a collectible, Batman Who Laughs. And then you get that notification about it. And then you get, so you can be like, all right, I want to ride the wave. You know, you could buy it. And then if a ton more people come in, then you could sell. I don't know. That's just speculation, obviously, but
dude, that would be sick. That would be so cool.
Yeah, and then just it's fun to troll your friends, you know, like, dude, why'd you buy 500 night nurses? You know, or like whatever. Like
hey, you coming for me? Come on, bro. I only bought 60. I only bought 60. Okay.
Oh, it's all good, man. I bought 10. I was like, I'm not
go common gang or what?
Yeah, I bought 10 commons just because like they're at retail and like it is a $25,000 comic in real life, but it's also very scarce in real life. And then it's also there's a big difference between the 9.2 and the 9.8 grade. So like I'm not like super bullish on like that comic in general. I'm bullish enough to think that it shouldn't be at retail though, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Another thing I thought about that drop, and I guess we don't need to get sidetracked too much on this, but like we've never really been able to see the entire market own a comic yet and all get exposed to the market at the same time. So like my thought was that like everyone try to dump at the same time. So, and if that was the case, it was a great time to accumulate. Unfortunately, like Night Nurse as like a very mediocre comic wouldn't have been the best example, but if it was like a very strong comic that dropped, I really feel like the prices would have been very suppressed because everybody tried to dump at the same time. But unfortunately, it was a very mediocre comic.
Yeah, I was interested about that too. I saw more green trucks that day than I expected to see, and I think it's just because maybe bots are a little nervous going for it. They obviously did because you see the bot walls like you always do. Which I mean, here I actually have a positive spin on bots. I mean, I don't get me wrong. When I first started, I think it's probably a pretty new collector thing to say like, oh, I'm not getting the drops because of the bots, and I get that. But if you just maybe like put $100 in the app instead of $7 for the comic, you might appreciate the bots a little bit more because bots are predictable because bots always dump. They always dump their stuff for way cheaper than it should be because they want to get out of it. And that's an opportunity for someone. You can guarantee when you click buy on an NFT, like in the market, you can get it. You cannot guarantee it on the drop. Obviously, you know, unless someone beats you to it. But it actually is kind of nice for accumulating, you know?
Look, I actually just got this. I'm pretty sure this was a bot. It's weird because it was Storm. I said yummy. And I know we had a conversation about this earlier. I've always been kind of a fan of Storm in the app. And I'm assuming this is a bot or just like a user that just maybe dumped all of them. But they dumped like this wall of 4-digit Storm commons at 30.99. So like crazy, man. Like even Storm's like not far from 50, like a couple of buys away from 50. And these are 4 digits. So like I ate up a few of them. I tried to buy all of them and I couldn't because other people beat me to it. But yeah, I
tried to buy them all. Dang, let's go.
Yeah, I did.
But how many Storm commons do you have over there? 4?
I actually have more uncommons than commons. I have like 20 something uncommons, and I have don't know, like 15 commons, something like that.
Okay.
And I have the secret rare. I have the whole Storm set.
Oh, okay, nice. I'm at running at 0 storms right now. So,
well, we spoke earlier. Do you care if I disclose what you told me earlier about like your trading?
No.
You know, you talked about, and I think this is very smart. You trade. You didn't say it like this, but you basically trade into volume. So like you trade into like what's popular, and like I completely respect that. That's what I do on a lot of things. There's very few collectibles I feel comfortable at stacking and just holding for a while, and Storm is one of those. I you know, just with being Queen of Wakanda and like upcoming like events of Storm entering like popularity. I just feel like Storm would be a good one to like sit on for a while. So I don't really mind stacking Storms, but there's a lot of times that I do try to trade into volume too. Like whatever's hot, whatever's talked about, I like to trade into that. For instance, every time they say that the DeLorean is going to be drivable, even though they've said it like 5
Oh
times.
yeah, go buy
I
it.
sell into that volume. I sell into
Yeah.
that volume every time. And then I just buy it later when it like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. And I guess I feel silly with it, but like they've said it and they're going to do it. But like, for whatever reason, every time they re-mention it, the floor is just going to creep up. And then they go back down once like it doesn't happen. So, just kind of
as soon as the market opened, I tried to pick one up in like the lower range and then flip it, but I couldn't get it bought in quick enough, like to buy it and then flip it. So I just like, oh, it's too late. It's gone. The hype's gone.
People are fast, dude. Like I do that sometimes too. I remember with the Sue Storm drop, I went to go try to buy the first Invisible Woman, the Marvel Mighty, and man, it was just like people were picking them off left and right. But that was like a quick like 50 gem profit like immediately.
Yeah, I mean, why not? It's like easy clap. It's like, let's go. Like it happens every single time. I mean, the only reason we couldn't do it this last one is because it wasn't live, right? I mean, when the market wasn't up.
Yeah, man. So what are your thoughts on the market? Like, in my opinion, like I'm actually really surprised that it didn't crash way harder when it opened back up.
Very surprised. I was trying to bet. I was like, guys, I'll bet you a comic it's going to crash. I thought it was going to dump because, I mean, in my opinion, it was like a fake pump, right, with the fake gem. So it's like people are going to go, oh, take profits. So I don't know. I think we just don't have enough intel. Maybe if they tell us like, oh, those 400 Winnie the Poohs are like locked up, that's a good thing. Maybe if they tell us like, I think maybe we don't have enough intel. It also is just like people we're all addicted. And people wanted their fix. To get the fix, there was no drop. They had to go buy. I think that problem maybe happened today a little bit.
Yeah, I've kind of been on a strict like watching what I buy right now because like the market sentiment, not even just in Veve, but everything, crypto, other NFTs, like everything's just kind of like bearish right now. So it's a little bit more difficult to make profit, and you can get stuck bag holding. But
Agreed.
I don't know, for whatever reason, when the market opened back up, I bought like 25 comics of different comics. I was like, oh, whatever. They look cheap.
No, dude, I'm in the same boat, man. I pretty much like when I see profit, I take it. And it hurts me a little bit inside because like, the moon boy pops out of me and he's like, come on, Dino, just hold it a little bit longer. And I'm like, no, there's profit. I'm taking some right now. Like and it's been treating me really well. And I'm not trying to say this is everyone's game. What I've been finding is the more people I talk to, I love hearing conflicting opinions. I hear people that are like, I'm only accumulating right now. I'm never selling anything right now. And I'm like, dude, you could pay off so much better than me. And I'm like, so happy for you if it does. And, you hear people that are selling a ton right now. It's like, everyone's doing a different game. And I don't knock anyone for their game that they play, right? It's like we all have our own financial situation. Like, I don't know what your finances are. I don't know why you're doing what you're doing. Nobody knows what mine are. So.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I completely agree. And that like social pressure does affect the market a lot. Like if you sell during euphoria, you're called paper hands. But if you hold during a bear market or whatever, like I don't know. It's like people put so much pressure, like unwarranted pressure. It's my money, my collectibles. Like let me do what I want with it.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And everyone wishes they sold back in January, right? Everyone wishes, they're like, oh man, I wish I sold then because like then I would have had 10,000 for my R2 and I could have bought 3 R2s, a week ago. And it's like it's always easy to have clear, hindsight in 2020, right? It's like, oh man, I'm looking back, I'm so smart. But that's why you just got to make the moves you make and you learn lessons. I'm a firm believer in we learn lessons, we don't make mistakes. So
I have a really good opinion for those type of people that are like, man, I should have sold top. I did. I sold a lot of top. Like I'm talking like top of the top of like some major collectibles. But I bought the dip, and then I bought the dip, and then I bought the dip, and then I bought the dip. And so like all that money that I made, I gave it right back, and I'm down from where I gave it back. So like, I hit one of those goofies at like 3.2, and it's at like 1K. Yeah, man. I bought the whole set. I bought the lenticular card set. I think I bought multiple of each. So like as much as it's like seems obvious to like look back and be like, yeah, I should have sold at top. You have somebody like me that's like, I did sell at top because like I understand like when everybody else is in euphoria, maybe it's time to take a little bit of profits. But buying back and buying back, I'm kind of just pretty much right where I started. Maybe I have like better entries in like some things, but I'm just like, man, if I
Or
did,
maybe bigger stacks, right? You maybe have more accumulated, right? Than if you did at the
yeah,
top.
I just have like different stuff, man. Like I remember I sold like a common Spider-Man at like 1400,
Cool.
and which was around top.
That's
But I
awesome.
bought I bought like I think a 3-digit rare, which was a good snipe at the time for that same price, like 1400.
Yeah.
But now the rare is like, what is it, like 800, 700?
Yeah,
So even though like
probably.
it felt good to get that like common and then kind of swap it out for that rare, I'm still down. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of stuff happened like that. Like, sure, I sold this like pretty good. You know, I sold it at a pretty good price, but then I bought something else, and now I'm down on that other thing that I bought.
Yeah, nobody knew how long this dip was going to last, and then it just kept happening, and then things that we didn't expect to happen like started happening, like the oversaturation, you know, like a lot of drops started happening sooner than maybe people expected, and MTL news a little bit sooner. And so no one could really foresee the end of this dip, you know, and so we thought it was going to be like the other ones, like the holiday dip, right? The holiday 12 days of holiday dip. Everyone was like, "Oh my gosh, it's going to run after Christmas." And sure enough, what happens? We get a euphoric run after Christmas because everyone was kind of like holding back. And we thought maybe this would be the same, but no one's perfect, right?
Yeah, man. And there's like there's an all around, like, not just Veve, but like, I mean, the Ukraine situation and
Yeah.
like the whole market's down, and we couldn't predict that. You know, like right after January, that this terrible terrible like political stuff would happen. Somebody said, "How many Pooh Bears do you have, Chris?" I bought 3 at 283 average. Like literally, I like did the math on it. It's not a lot of math, but like just letting you know that is exactly what I paid for each. I sold 1 at 470, and that was before the everything the last few days. But my plan when I sold it at 470 was because I basically went to bed with Pooh's being at 230, and I woke up with them being at like 450. So I was like, oh, I'll just sell one at 470 because like that's an easy like 2x in one day.
Yeah.
And I'll rebuy once it gets below 400 again, because in my opinion, things don't have this new stuff doesn't really have enough like accumulation to have like very firm floors. So like you see a lot of like waves, and I try to take advantage of those waves. So right now I'm down to 2 Pooh Bears, but I'll probably pick one back up again if they dip below 400. If they never dip below 400 again, I'm okay with that. I 2x'd on one. I'll probably like wait and hold my other one for like, try to get like, if it ever hits like 1,000, try to get that out of it or whatever, and maybe hold my other one for years to come. I don't know. Like I'm okay with laddering out of collectibles, like kind of setting like price points of, all right, well, I'll sell one at this price, one at this price, and one at this price. Because you know what happens? People get greedy. And they're like, oh, I'm just going to hold to the moon. I'm going to hold to like this certain price. So they'll wait to try to dump their whole bag at like that $1,000 Pooh or whatever. And it might not ever get there, or it might get to 980 and never get to their 1K. And then they missed out on everything.
Yep. Dollar cost average in, dollar cost average out. That's what I do.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
And then you keep one for a moonshot. I mean, there's nothing wrong with keeping 1 or 2 or, whatever for a moonshot. It's like, hold them. Maybe that thing goes to the moon.
Yeah, for sure. I have a couple of those. Definitely there's a couple of those moonshots. Another thing that I just thought was like generally bullish for Veve, and I'm really excited about, because like I'm on my computer a lot. I have a nice computer. I don't know if you know this, but I was actually a gaming streamer before I was a crypto and an
No, I didn't know.
streamer. Yeah, so like I got a pretty good setup, and they talked about the website. We're not gonna have to like watch this whole thing, but it just looks really clean, dude. Like I'll mute it, but like, while we're just like letting that play, like what are your thoughts on this?
I might finally set up my vault when it comes to a website. I'm a zero vault guy. I have nothing in my vault pretty much. When I first joined, I put like my 3 golden moments that I had, my R2, my C3, and my Iron Man in my vault. And I haven't done anything since. And this is what I've been waiting for to set up my vault, like to actually put my stuff out there and like look at it. So I'm really excited for that. I like that I'm on my laptop a ton, like for work. So I'm actually really pumped about that. I like it. I think it looks great.
Yeah, dude, I think it looks really good. One thing that people are sleeping on too is I don't think they have to go through Apple or Google fees in order to like run this. So like that could potentially help on MTL fees and just in general, because they're not having to take 30% off the top. I'm pretty sure. Also a possibility, nobody mentioned this. I just heard somebody random mention this earlier, but it would be cool if there's a way to connect like a MetaMask wallet to it.
Yes,
And then just to
please.
be able to directly buy with your Ethereum or your ERC20 OMI. That would be really,
Please.
yeah, dude, that'd be sick, for people like me who use MetaMask all day. So yeah,
Or
I mean,
even just the ability to verify on, I mean, I know this is not money, but to verify your NFT on Twitter, like to flex it, dude, NFTs, people love to flex. They want you to know what they have. And
well,
like, that would be awesome.
that's another like pretty bullish thing that I feel like the AMA gave us was Alex basically leaked this, but they're talking about a new asset class, and Alex said one of one, and David kind of like snickered like you weren't supposed to say that. So I'm thinking we are going to get one of ones on Veve, which is going to be really freaking cool, dude. Like if you're not familiar with what that is, like basically your NFT is going to be completely unique, not just the mint
Yeah.
number. So like you will be the only one like that, and that's it's kind of like where Web3 comes into, like that the NFT will essentially represent you. If it's like if they drop an egg with eyes on it, Dino is gonna like probably spend all of his gems on that
Let's
egg.
go.
But and now it's his PFP, and everybody, like, you don't have to see him anymore. If you see that egg, you just think of Dino. Like that'd be really sick.
Dude, that's what's up. You know what I'm bullish on? This is probably my favorite NFT right now, and I don't know why, just because it just is. I picked up this guy the other day, the rare, the special one that dropped.
Yeah.
And I don't know why it's probably my favorite NFT right now. I ended up talking to the person and I bought it from them. And they were telling me about the whole, like, how they got it. Yeah. Did you hear the story about that? Like, basically it was like from like going to an event and they got like the first promo code NFT.
No, I actually didn't. I'm surprised I didn't, but yeah.
Okay, so you saw that comic that dropped randomly, right? A week ago. It was like 5,000 editions, right?
Yeah.
So basically, what happened was it's called ASM 130. Yeah, the Palace has one too. BZ has one. We both have one. We thought about making our own Discord and just pumping our bags to each other. We'll just go back and forth. Yeah, ASM 130 is the best.
That's funny. Dude.
But no, I bought it from this person. So I was bidding on the auction. I got outbid by someone massively. Like someone didn't know what they were doing, I think, and then didn't pay the auction. So then the person came to me and said, "Hey, I know you from YouTube. Will you buy it from me? I just want to get out of it. I want some cash." And I'm like, "You could find better buyers than me, but I'll give you this." And they's like, "That's fine. I'd rather just sell it to you and it'd be easy." So they sold it to me. I pick it up. So the story is she got it from you sign up for like Marvel's on like comics online to read them. It's like a subscription service. And then they got invited to this event. So she went to this event and everyone that went to the event got a promo code to put in the app or whatever to basically get this comic. And she said there was only about 1,000 or so people there. Oh, Chris, I'm hosting your show, I guess. She said there was only about 1,000 or so people there. And there's 5,000 in the app. So I'm like, okay, where are the other 4,000? Like, did they give people doubles? Like, did they is it the first promo code or was it something else?
I'm sorry. Yeah. So the last thing I heard was she said there's only, and then.
Okay. So she said there was only like 1,000 probably people at the event, but there's 5,000 of these minted. So I'm like, did they not get minted? Did random people get them? There's not very many on the market. Like, I don't know. It's just kind of cool. I think it's the first promo code. I think it was a promo code. So I'm like,
is it on the market right now?
Yeah, it's on the market right now for about 700 gems.
What the heck, dude? Yeah,
that's the floor.
How did I not hear about this?
Yeah, so that's the floor. The floor is 700 gems. There's not very many. I don't know if they're going to drop the rest of the rarities. I think it's the first promo code. I don't know. I really like it. I don't know. I just really like it.
I don't even see it. I'm looking for it.
Oh, Veve just tweeted too, man.
What is it?
Another USDS drop stamp.
What? Let's go, dude. That's sick. Oh, you want me to share some alpha with you on stream real quick?
Dude, yes.
Here, let me pull this up.
Oh wow, it's for women. It's for Women's History Month. That's awesome.
Let's go, dude. I'm so excited. So when I said I overbought, stamps fall into that category.
Really?
Yeah, man. I just couldn't stop buying freaking stamps, bro. I thought they were historical. They were also easy to swing if I needed to. The fees were really low. But yeah, that was one of those things. Like I sold a bunch of stuff at the top, and then like I kept buying stamps. And like I was like, dang, this is because like I bought it. I think I bought my first one at like $650 after it dropped down from like almost 1,000. And I was like, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. and then another one, and then it dropped to like 450 a couple days later, and I was like, I'll snag another one up. I snagged another one up, and then it kept on going down, and then I bought like a couple or 2-3 digits. So yeah, I overbought stamps. So that's a fantastic news for me.
Dude, yeah, so it's actually supporting women's, like basically women's rights, and it's all like women's athletes, and it's commemorates the 50th anniversary of the passage of a bill called Title IX. I'm guessing it's for women's rights. That's so awesome.
Yo, props here. He said stamps are going to zero. So I remember being in the spaces with prop like months ago. This is before like most people that are in spaces now are in spaces, and he didn't like stamps when it dropped. I remember like it was at like I'm not calling you out, prop. I freaking love prop. He has some great insight. But he never did like stamps. I remember like it was like the UR stamp was at like I think all right. I'm pretty sure I remember this right. Prop, you hit the UR stamp on the drop. I think you sold it at like 180 or like 220 or something because like you didn't believe in it, which is like totally understandable. But yeah, prop hasn't like stamped since the beginning, but prop has a lot of really good insight. I really respect you, bro. I obviously disagree with you on the stamps, but he's very needed for the space, and he's such a good Veve influencer.
I think Prop and I are both bullish on the Spider-Man 130. I think, Prop, do you have a 130? I think I saw you bidding in those auctions with me that day. Day one, it was Prop was bidding, I was bidding, BZ was bidding. A lot of us were trying to pick up 130s. What's up, sleeping, bro? How you doing? We got G's in the chat. Yeah, dude, my first drop on Veve was Day of the Dead stamp.
Oh, nice, dude.
So, yeah, I hit too.
Did you
hit? I hit the common. I ended up selling it. But yeah, I hit the common.
All right, I'm pulling up this message I got. He said I could share earlier. This isn't like detrimental news, like huge news or anything like this. I just wanted to share it. Let me pull this up real quick. Where's that? Oh, sorry, I have to redo this.
Oh, bro, you're all good.
Share this. Chilling. I think it should be right here. Here we go. So this message says, I work for a post office, and there was a Zoom meeting the day before yesterday where it was confirmed that stamps are going digital from third quarter of this year. No more physical stamps. Well, there will be, but it won't be necessary anymore. It's being rolled out here in Ireland, and after that, it's a matter of time before it's worldwide. Those Veve stamps, particularly the secret rare, I think he meant to say the ultra rare, on the Day of Dead are about to be collector's items in a very real sense. Buy now or pay later, and blah, blah. He said this isn't shilling, blah, blah, blah. Also, I'm not shilling stamps. We're talking about stamps because Veve just announced stamps. But I thought that was some interesting insight from somebody who actually works at a post office.
Yeah. Sleeping said, do I sell my extra Superman for more NYXs? I say sell your extra Superman, but not for NYXs. Sell it to buy freaking next Star Wars drop.
I don't know, man. I scooped a few NYXs, man. It's anytime Sleeping's bullish on a comic, I follow that. Like him, Comics and Crypto, all those guys, like I follow their comic knowledge.
I picked up 20 and then flipped them for double, so.
So I haven't actually pulled up this Veve drop. I do feel like this will affect the current stamps unless our market sentiment stays like pretty low, which I mean, like I said, has kind of surprised me so far how it's been.
Yeah, that looks awesome. I'm pumped.
Yeah, man, it is cool. We'll see. I'll just be transparent about it. Like if stamps get a good pump through this, I'll probably offload at least one of my like higher mints because I did overbuy. You know, because a lot of times like people will see you like talk highly about something and then see you on the market and like screenshot it and send it to you or whatever. Just because like I have some 3-digit mints and I bought a lot of them, so there's no reason for me not to take advantage of a pump if it pumps, especially with 2.5% fees.
Oh yeah. No, I mean they're great.
So my Northluck 89 said, I'm thinking about uptrading my C3PO, Homer and Bart, and maybe a Woody, Puma, and 1K gems for a Todd. Batman, you think that's a good bet? Woo! I'll let you get that one, Dino.
I personally, okay. I mean, it sounds like you're getting an okay deal because C3PO is 22, Homer Bart's like maybe a K, 32, Pumbaa's like what, 250. So you're looking at 35, maybe like you're looking around 5,000 to get into a Todd. Are you a long hodler, or do you want to get it and then flip it for 2.5% gems? If you want to get all those 8.5s out of your vault and get into a Todd and then flip it for 2.5% gems, great deal. If you want to long hodl the Todd, possibly a good deal, but you have MTL looming. So personally, would I do that deal? No, I would not do it unless I was trying to get the gems quickly, because you're getting out of 8.5s to 2.5s. I think there's too many Todds on the market, and anytime people want gems, OGs floor a Todd. So OGs, that's their liquidity piece. So I like Todd, but I think there's just too many.
Yeah, that's a fair argument with like whale pieces. It does seem like they can get floored pretty easily. That's a hard one. Like we haven't seen like that true appreciation of Woody or Pumbaa. So like that's kind of a shot in the dark, like on like where those are gonna go. I don't know. That's a tough one to say.
It is tough. It's tough. I mean, I'm just sharing what I would do. Obviously, none of it's financial advice. It's just an opinion. I mean, I can tell you what I did. I mean, I did a massive trade out of 8.5 percenters into a Rizzo, which is a 2.5 percenter with the intention of flooring it for gems probably at the right time. So that's why I said I would probably do that trade if it made sense. But to hold the Todd long term, you might get a better deal.
Did you floor it, or are you still going to hold it until like
No, I still
better
have
market?
it.
Okay.
Yeah, I still have it. I haven't floored it yet. I just don't think it's the time. And if I needed the gems, I would do it, but I don't need the gems right now. So I'm just holding it. And
Cool,
I like
man.
him.
What do you
He's
think?
buff.
You think we're going to see, even despite everything that happened, the fraud gems pumping the market and all that, do you think we'll see those floors from January and 2022 again?
In 2022. Ooh, that's a lot. That's hard to predict.
Yeah.
It's all about MTL for me. So like for me, I think it's all about MTL, because once they get that big thing out of the way, then they're going to start giving us MCP, which is great. Which is amazing. Very bullish on it. They're going to give us OUP, which is amazing. Like they're going to give us all these great things once they can get MTL out of the way. Like they need to do that to like clear their name. So for me, if we get MTL out of the way soon, we could hit those floors again. If we don't get it out of the way soon, I don't know. It's just looming. It's kind of like a dark cloud that's kind of looming, We don't know if there's going to be rain or not, or when they're going to tweet about it, when there's going to be up. We're all like nervous, So we all got our ponchos ready. We're like, oh God, is the MTL going to rain on us today or not? Like, I don't know.
I'm the same way, bro. It's hard to predict because like we do have some catalysts coming, but like after the AMA, it seems that they're not going to be until quarter 2. Like I think MTL is the looming one. How hard it's going to hit the market, we don't know. And then there's good catalysts coming, like OMI to NFT. And I think even MCP is a good catalyst, like having it implemented, like, actually useful. This web app is a good catalyst. Like this is really cool. So we got good things coming too, but it's just hard to predict because like how much of that gems being pumped in was fake, for sure.
Yeah.
And that's scary to think about. Like, I don't know. Nobody actually knows that answer right now except for Veve, and they might not even ever disclose it.
Yeah, they might not. I'm honestly mega bullish on MCP. The last AMA, when they said we're not going to shaft you and give you like 1% allocation, that means, so you're telling me there's a chance there's going to be more than 1% of the collectibles allocated to drop raffle, which is a huge deal. I think. What is that? 5%? Is it 2%? Not only that, it's going to help eliminate bot users. We're going to have more chances at it. They even said this previous AMA, like you're going to have a better chance with the drop raffle with the queue system. And MCP they already got rid of gem transfers, which is going to hurt bots, right? Their MCP could add like leveling. So like you might not be able to transfer. I think MCP is going to be a great feature. Like we need it. It's going to be awesome. Like if I get a drop with it, I'm going to be so pumped. Like it will make all the rare comics worth it that I bought.
Yeah, man. I'm the same way. Like I'm pretty bullish on MCP. I like, and I probably wish I would have stuck with, I don't know if he's still here, but prop stance, or at least that general space sentiment on MCP. Because at first I thought they just didn't care about it. And I was kind of wondering like, why do people not care about it? Like could be a big deal. But I think what they meant and like what they're planning to do, which like I wish I would have done, is they've went ahead and accumulated with all these flips, going in on one item, that item appreciating a 2x, 4x, 5x, 10x, offloading that item. So now they have all these gems sitting ready. And once MCP comes, they can then fill up their bags on sets, on rare comics, on ultra rare comics and all that. So I respect that. Like, I think that's a really good play. That it's on either side of it, whether you're accumulating now or whether you accumulate later, there's a little bit of risk involved because like what if we don't see these prices again, or what if we see lower prices? It's the typical. It could go up, it could go down, but for people like, again, shout out to Prop again, and a lot of those people that are in spaces a lot, they flipped and made such good profits. It doesn't really matter at this point, because if they choose to go into MCP later, it won't be that hard for them, because it's like, oh, well, I've already 10x, 20x, so might as well just buy up whatever they want to do for MCP points. Like, they could get sets, they could get rares, they could get ultra rares, whatever.
Yeah, and Prop said he says he heard 10%. He just put that in the comments. So I would, if it's 10%, holy shoot. I don't think it would be that big, but where did you get that? That's amazing. I mean, that would be phenomenal if 10% of the allocation of the drop was allocated to MCP. And then you have OUP too, right? You have the OMI drop raffle. So
OUP, yeah. I won't stay on this for long, but like I do think OUP is going to be like really bullish for OMI, obviously. Obviously, a lot of people are like jumping ship on OMI right now, and that's just because we're not getting any news, and because the buyback stuff like scared people. But like ultimately, if OMI, I'm searching it right now. If OMI does, like, there's more good things possibly coming for OMI in the short to midterm than like even like Veve, like. Because Veve, like we just said, they have the Master Collector program. They have the website coming out. They have a lot of other good things. And like collectibles just in general can appreciate a lot faster. But with that being said, this OUP could be a really big deal for OMI. Also, using OMI as a third-party utility token in other games, which has already been confirmed, could be a really big deal for OMI. So the fact that OMI is getting crushed right now just because the negative sentiment around it and like the lack of news, it's one of those things weird too. And I say this all the time, being a content creator who's made OMI videos. I'm gonna be real with you. Like, OMI on the exchanges it's on right now is highly manipulated. It'd be really easy for some major players to sell off and this price just like get crushed. But at the same time, once we actually get utility and once we get some better exchanges with it, which they talked about, David said we have another top 10 exchange in line. And he said there's really not a lot stopping him from the #1 exchange, but there's no reason to try to push it if we don't have utility yet. So like once all those things come to fruition, which could be the midterm, it could be a couple months from now, we could never see these prices again. So like I know it's so typical, but it could go up and never come back down, or it could go down and stay down for a really long time until they decide to implement these things. But overall, the OUP being able to OMI to NFT, all those things is going to be like pretty big for the token.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not a genius, dollar cost average in. I mean, like if you're bullish on the asset, just dollar cost average. If you're not and also it's like all-time lows, like right now, so it's actually a great time.
I actually went to go look at it, and it's up 7% today. That kind of surprised me. Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Granted, it got no. Hold on. What chart is this? It says 7%. CoinGecko is always a little finicky with it. It says 7% right here, but it won't let me filter based on this. Because we dropped 12% yesterday. I don't watch it every day. red. Oh, back up.
They updated the circulating supply, so it should be correct on CoinGecko now. That's what Veve tweeted today.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, it's 267 billion now, which is correct, which is a lot. But again, with the OUP incorporating like a deflationary aspect, I think it's going to be. I think it could be good.
I mean, we burned 1 billion OMI on the Pixar Pals drop. Wasn't it that one that we burned 1 billion OMI in one day?
This is where the controversy goes in, and this is like where the big negative sentiment got, is because buybacks could be a problem with security. And if so, they're going to have to kill buybacks. But
how are they going to keep the wallet up then, though? Like, what if the wallet gets low?
That's the $1 million question that I don't know the answer to.
Yeah.
I'm sure the answer is somewhere out there. I don't know. But with the other things that they're implementing, I think it's actually going to be better than buybacks, especially like as a third-party utility token, being able to stake and burn OMI. You have to pay OMI to end your stakes and all that fun stuff. Yo, Dr. Frenchie, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. New people coming from Veve are looking at the Veve community, and to be real, it's so toxic, man. Yeah, it really has been like lately. I'm not going to lie. And that's like, I don't want to get into this too much because like I wanted this to, again, thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it. I don't want to get into this too much, but one of my things was I really thought those gem rates were so low, which I didn't buy any gems off app during that time. I've actually never bought gems off app besides one of my friends I know in real life wanted to liquidate everything, and I bought it from him. But with that being said, the community sentiment was so negative. Like everybody's like, this is a rug pull, Veve's a scam, blah, blah, blah. It made sense to me that people literally were wanting to sell their gems at those types of losses because they were getting out. Like that's the first thing that went through my head. And I was tempted because it was like, okay, people literally think this is a rug pull and that their gem's not worth 1-to-1 to $1. So they're taking, 0.2 to $1, 0.3 to $1, 0.4 to $1 and running. So like, that's why like, it's so hard for me to like blame these people that like bought at those rates. Cause like we've seen rates as low as 0.4 before. I think even like 0.35 sometime in December. So the fact that they only went a little bit below that, and some of the people that did get restricted did buy at 0.3 and 0.4, like I see where they were like tempted. And it's a weird dilemma because as much as people like to blame them, a lot of those people are our advocates. A lot of them are whales. Some of them are good influencers in the community that like were bullish when other people were trying to liquidate. So like, what's your thoughts, Dino?
Yeah, I mean, I shared some thoughts on Twitter when it first happened. I mean, at the end of the day, I think that you don't know where the gems came from. So I feel like it's really hard to punish buyers when they don't know where they came from. Do 0.2 and 0.3 seem too good to be true? Yes, it does seem like, buying a brand new MacBook behind the Best Buy for $100. It does seem like that. Yes, I get it. But I mean, if you're a smart botter or you're a smart whatever cheap gem stealer, maybe you sell them slowly. You sell them at 0.7. So people sometimes feel miraculously safe because they bought a gem at 0.6 or 0.7. They're like, oh, it's got to be clean. It's 0.7. And it's like, no, maybe they just wanted to sell at 0.7 because they wanted more money, So I think that it's really hard to punish buyers when they don't know, like they don't, who's going to lie? Who's going to tell you the truth? Oh yeah, I definitely bought every single time. And that's where these gems come from. They're not. And so it's hard for me to be mad about that because Veve said they cleared up. Everyone was afraid. Remember 2 months ago, before the last AMA or a month ago, everyone was panicking about banned accounts. And Veve cleared it up. They even said the word dirty gems. Like they said, like, you will not be banned for that. You know what I mean? Like, we get it. It happens right now. It's kind of like, do it right now. They even said, do it now before you can't. And then it kind of changes a little bit. Is 0.2 kind of sketchy? Yeah, it is. But so my opinion is I just think we need clarity, and I think we need not flip-floppiness. The flip-floppiness is what hurts us, right? That's what people don't like. And I do agree with you, Dr. Frenchie, about the negativity. I don't like that either. But the weirdest thing about Veve, right, it's so positive too at the same time. Like, I've experienced both sides of it. Like, I've never experienced more generosity, I think, like in a while, except through Veve Veve members, like giving stuff away all the time. They're just giving it away. Like, you look on Twitter, if I scroll through my feed right now, there's probably 3 people giving something away today. And I'm like, so it's like so weird because it's so positive, yet it flips so quickly. So I don't know.
So I do want to note something while we're here. And again, like, I do not want this to come off as me blaming the victims at all. Just to bring up that mention of Veve mentioning it a few months ago. They did put it in their Medium article. It was right here. And it was, your account will be okay. So this was like a controversial opinion. Your account will be disabled for purchasing dirty gems. Like that. I'll just read it. There has been an increasing fear in the community that accounts that are purchasing gems off app or that accounts that transfer gems are more likely to be restricted. There is no truth to this claim unless there's clear evidence. Okay. So right there, it looks like you're completely safe. Okay. But it does follow up with this, except that the gem transfer is being used to facilitate a scam or botting activity. So basically what Veve is saying, and I don't know if they said it as clear in the AMAs or in person, is you're really good most of the time, except for the small percent of the time, which just so happen to happen. So I don't like taking sides in this, but like this is where it does come in, and this is where it gets a little sketchy, because it's like one of those, well, you told us that we could. Yes. But they also said there's a risk. But again, at the same time, I don't even want to talk about this too much because, like, I really, really feel bad. Like, I have friends that I really respect, people in the community that I really respect that fell for this. Like, they were buying gems at what was reasonable. Like, somebody I know spent like 70,000 on gems at a 0.4 rate yesterday or a couple days ago.
70K?
Wow. And he got banned. He got restricted, and he might not ever see that 70K. Like, we don't know what's going to happen with that yet.
USD, like money, like cash money,
USDT. He spent 70K USDT a couple days ago, and at a 0.4 rate, which is pretty average. It kind of at the low end is like 0.4, at the high end is like 0.8. And he fell into this. So it's like, I just can't take it in my heart to be like, oh, it's your fault. Like no, like I'm too much of a people not people pleaser. Like I care about people too much to be like, that was your own doing. You shouldn't have been flirting. No, dude.
And that's why I tweeted yesterday. I'm like, we just want to know. Like, will you just tell us straight up, like, don't do it or do it? Like, it's okay. And so I think people felt like they told it was okay, and then they kind of felt like they got rugged, like your friend, right? So it's like, that's what we need. We just need to know, like, what the heck, like, are we allowed to do? Like,
yeah, somebody prop asked if his account is locked. Yeah, his account is locked. It's restricted.
Oh my gosh, that's rough. My gosh.
Yeah, dude, it's tough.
Wow.
I'm obviously not gonna say who it was, but like, yeah, it's
yeah, I get it. No, I totally get it, man. That's rough. That's really rough. I will say this too. I'm sorry. I bought most of my gems off app, like 75% of them. Okay, I haven't bought in like a month or two because I don't need it. I'll say this too. This is probably great for people to hear. I felt a little too overexposed to VV in my USD contribution. So you know what I did was I didn't care that I was an influencer, whatever, a baby influencer. I didn't care. I started hedging myself and put a little bit more gems in my account because I know that I can get 1-to-1. I don't think VV is going to rug me. I think that I can get 1-to-1 for my gems or 90 cents. So I started getting a little bit more gems so I would feel comfortable and not overwhelmed. Like, oh my God, the market's down. I'm down so much money, and so because I personally overexposed myself, right? And I admit that. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to feel comfortable doing this. But I will say this. I think most gems, I'm sorry, I don't know if there's enough people cashing out that I think most gems are probably botted. I mean, we're all buying NFTs from bots. I'm sorry. And maybe you're high and mighty and better than the rest of us. But how do you buy not from bots when all the floors are littered with their accounts? Like, how do you not buy from them? Like, where does VV draw the line? Like, where do we draw the line on this? Like, what if some guy, Pags tweeted this yesterday, a great tweet. What if some guy never bought gems off app, only had NFTs, sold his NFT, and someone with botted gems or stolen gems bought his NFT? Now those gems are in his account. Like, where do we draw the line? Like, I don't even know.
I don't know, man. I got a little fearful from like one of the guys that I actually won like a good giveaway for the first time ever. It was an uncommon.
You won the pizza truck, right? No,
I won an uncommon Steamboat Willie.
Oh shoot!
Like 2 days ago. And the guy messaged me. He's like, "Hey, my account got restricted." This isn't funny. What was what I was cackling at is the fact I was like, the one time I win a decent giveaway, it's probably gonna like restrict my account because it's like he probably bought gems from this, got restricted. Now I'm like, oh God, they're gonna track his collectibles and his gems.
Yeah, and it's in your account.
Yeah, it's my account now. I was like, of course, that's the one time I want to give away. I don't know how I need to check on him today to see. He was another advocate in the community, like somebody else who does giveaways all the time. And is a super kind person and got restricted. So
I mean, the fact that he gave away a $400 NFT to you just to give away to someone in the community, and it was legit, he gave it to you, that's pretty huge.
Yeah, it was a raffle, but I actually
he legit gave it away. It wasn't fake.
It
wasn't a follower grab. It was real. Like, that's generous.
Yeah, for sure, man. I know there's super generous people in this community, man. And that's another thing. Like, a lot of people that got hit by this are really, I know some of them personally, and they're kind people, they're advocates. And again, like, another way I viewed it, I don't know if I stressed this enough earlier. I know you're about to have to go, Dino, but like, I really believe some people thought that we would never get MTL. Like, I really do believe that. Like, some people thought that VV was a rug. Yeah. At that point, you view your gems as absolutely worthless, and you will take anything. So in my head, you have these people who are literally like, look, I just went out, man. I will undercut whatever gem rate's going. I made $100,000 on the app. I'll take 20 grand right now for this 100,000 worth of gems that I made off of a $2,000 investment. That makes
100%.
Sense in my head.
100%.
And then 100%. you have people who actually believe in VV and who are like, man, I think VV is going to come through this. I think they're going to kill it. They are going to come through with MTL. Those gems are 1-to-1 to $1 one day. Yeah. I'm going to buy up those gems that they're offering, So like, it's weird because I feel like a lot of people that got punished are actually the bullish people that are like, I still want in. I still want these gems to be able to buy collectibles. I believe in the short, mid, long term of the project where they believe in. So like, I was in a space today and This space was fine, but I did feel a little awkward because I did feel like I was one of the minority that like really does feel bad for the people that got that are restricted right now. But
Yeah, I felt like that too. I tweeted it, and I literally got like, I mean, for me, it's a lot of, it was like 70 likes, like 40 comments, but they were all really negative. It was basically like, well, so people, first of all, I mean, and I'm actually not in a rush yet. My wife hasn't texted me, so it's good. But whenever you want to end it, it was kind of sad. Like, I didn't like how the sentiment changed so quickly. It's like, it really feels like people who bought 1-to-1 are like, oh, we hate them because they're ruining the market. And then it's like, people started accusing me. They're like, oh, Dino, you only buy dirty gems now. So every time I post in the feed now I have people spamming my comments. Oh, you're a dirty gem dealer. And it's just like, guys, come on. Like, Veve said it was okay. We did it. And it kind of changed, and it sucks. And at the end of the day, none of us know each other, right? We're all kind of hiding behind usernames, and the only people who really kind of talk a lot is maybe people in spaces and like us on YouTube, right? We see each other's faces, and it's like, we don't know each other, and people get so mean behind usernames, and we got to stop doing that. Like, we got to realize these are real people, and people make mistakes. Like, we all make mistakes. Who has bought a collectible way too high? I raise my hand right now. I freaking bought Goofy way too high, and I'm still bag hole. You know what I'm trying to say?
Goofy gang.
Yeah, that's like, who's listed something wrong. You know what I mean? Like, I've almost did. I haven't done it, but I almost did one time. And so it's like, we've all made mistakes. We got to learn to like chill out. Like, we're all just trying to make money. We got to learn to chill out. We're all trying to have fun.
Yeah, that's when I was. By the way, Trip said time to press the like button for our boys Chris and Dino. Thank you, Trip. Trip was a co-host of that space today. By the way, overall
Nice.
the space was amazing. I think there's just one guy particularly that was upset with me defending those who were harmed. But he even told me, he's like, because I said I don't care that people bought gems off the app, and he's like, you should care. I was like, I think you severely underestimate how much I care about 99% of things in life. Like, it's nothing to do with this situation, but like, I'm a very I'm a happy person, but I'm a very apathetic person. Like, it's really hard to rattle me and to like make me like care. I struggle making myself care about things. So like, just you telling me to care isn't going to make me care. Like, people can do whatever they want.
People get so judgy behind like when it's not like, they just like, yeah. And Sleeping, you're awesome, bro. Me and you have chatted a ton, and you're awesome. And like, I think you're a great guy, and I appreciate talking to you, and you're an honest guy. And here's what there's enough money to go around for everyone, guys. We don't have to be greedy. There's enough money. There's enough gems. There's enough NFTs. Like, there's enough. It's like, it's all going to be good. Like, and if you feel overexposed, like if you're in this chat right now and you're like, I'm nervous, well, then maybe you should stop listening to influencers and content creators and look at your financial situation and go, you know what? Maybe I need a little more gems, or you know what? Maybe I want to have some cash on the side, or whatever it is. And that's okay. And you don't have to feel bad for that. Like, everyone has a different financial situation. I own my house. I have a house that I own that I get to live in. Maybe someone has a ton of NFTs and they don't own a house. Like, it's okay. Like,
yeah, man, Sleeping's amazing. Thank you for being part of our community. Like, really big asset. He runs Veve Rank. He has a YouTube channel, which he's taking a 2-week break from right now, I believe. But yeah, Sleeping is absolutely amazing. Somebody said, I have only ever bought gems through Apple. I entertain buying off app, but I'm a scaredy cat and convinced if I get caught banned. I just literally, you know what, Dino? Like, I would love to take the high and mighty road and be like, this is the reason I've only bought from Apple. I'm just lazy, dude. I depend more on flipping to get more gems than I do on like buying gems. Yeah. So like, I bought a certain amount of gems through just the normal way, and I flipped to where I am, So like, it's not because I chose this high and mighty road. It's because I'm lazy. I don't, if I did ever get low, I might have like loaded up for a drop or something like that just quickly. And like I said, the one time I bought off app was my friend I know, like he's literally my neighbor in real life, was like, hey man, I'm going to Disney and I have a couple things. I want to liquidate my account. Will you buy everything from me? It's like, yeah, sure. So I bought everything from him.
I mean, I bought most of my gems probably a month ago is when I ended. Maybe 2 months ago I ended. Probably 75% of them I bought off app. And for me, it was purely like, this is a better deal. Like, I'm like, why would I pay one when I can pay 60 cents? Like, that's kind of how I viewed it. Like,
yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. And it's the only reason why my account is positive right now, because I bought it like a lower rate. Right. And so, it was kind of a gray area for a while, and then it was approved. And at the end of the day, we'll figure out what happens. Like, hopefully Veve dots their T's and crosses their I's on this, because we want Veve as a company to succeed. Right. and lawsuits will not help them succeed. Like we want them to succeed as a company, right? That's why OMI burn is good, right? Because it helps OMI succeed. That's why buying gems. Okay, someone's going to be like, why would I buy gems on the web platform? Let's say no more off app buying, right? Cool. Buy on the web. Why would I do that? Well, because it supports Veve. Because then Veve gets 100% of your gem purchase and Apple doesn't take 30% if that works out, which I think it should, because they don't have to go through the Play Store and the Apple Store. And that supports, if Veve wins, we win.
Yeah,
like
man.
That's kind of how it works. And so like if NFTs win, we win. So like if Secret Rare Spider-Man hits 100K and Walt doesn't, if Secret Rare Spider-Man hits 1 million, we all win, because then Secret Rare Spider-Man's on the news. Like,
yeah, dude. And that's another thing. I feel like the overall community is too tight to be divided. Like we feel like we're big, but we're not as big as we actually like. I feel like a lot of people think we are. So to like see like these like divisions, you know, like I don't care about groups, man. Like groups are fine. Like you know that's just fun. Like that's subcategories. But to see actual divisions, like oh, this person is talking bad about this person, and this person thinks Walt is better than Secret Rare Spider-Man, or vice versa. So like they hate each other. Like it's like, man, we need to like stick together, because at the end of the day, most of us moving forward that are in this like will succeed together. You know, if the overall app succeeds. I think my webcam just died, but yeah, I have a backup. Don't
I hear
worry.
you though.
I'll come
I
back.
still hear you. Okay.
you
No,
got
dude,
what I
I
was trying
totally
to
agree.
say.
No, you said basically like we need to stick together. And I think you're totally right. Like if we all succeed, and that doesn't mean we can't talk about things that are like, oh, Veve should fix this. That actually makes us have a more well-rounded perspective, but it doesn't mean we're not bullish. And I totally agree. And that's why I just don't play that game. If anyone wants to like insult other people, I'm like, you can do it on another channel. You're not doing it on mine. Like, you know, I'll talk to everyone and hang out with everyone. And we're all, here's the crazy thing, right? This is what I think about too. As a content creator, I want to go to like one of these meetups, right? The DCon meetup,
Oh, me
the
too,
Comic
bro.
Con meetup. And I'm going to get to that event, right? And I'm going to meet you in person. And like, imagine if I talk shit about you, like online, and then I have to meet you in person and like shake your, you know what I'm trying to say? Like people, it's like, we're all people here. Like,
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, I would love to see certain people meet other people at these events. I will definitely be at not definitely, but I really want to be at the next one. I can't be at the one in the UK because like that's just too much to swing.
yeah.
But I don't know if they're doing another San Diego one. I think they
They
said they
said
were.
maybe San Diego, maybe Anaheim, and maybe New York, right?
Yeah, that'd be really cool. I'll try. I'm far away from all of those, but I'll definitely try to make at least one.
Yeah, dude, I definitely had to even out my camera to match your head level. I was like, I'm doing it. Like the other day, I was messing with Randy because Randy was really high on his camera and the other person was really low. And so I was like, why are you guys like, so I just matched my equilibrium to you. So our heads are even.
I'm glad I got this backup because yeah, my actual camera you can't plug it in and let it play at the same time, so it died. But I always got this backup.
Yeah.
Man, there's something I was gonna say before my camera died, and I just got like so thrown off about it.
Dude, you keep
Oh
eating
yeah, I
web.
remember. So overall, this situation sucks, but this is part of a potentially this. We could eventually make this out to be a good. How Veve handles it is crucial. Like how what we're gonna go moving forward is crucial. Veve has struggled, you know, with things like they got sued by a former founder, you know, not long after they launched, like, you know, within the early stages. They've had other hurdles, and then they have this now, an exploit. So this is, I don't want to say growing pains in a way of limiting how serious this could be. But at the end, what I mean by growing pains is like, if they get through this, I think in months and years to come, like we could be stronger than ever. But again, how they handle this is I'm not putting that weight on them either. Like if you handle this poorly, I'm done with you. But I can see how it's going to be a bumpy road ahead if especially if like, I don't think they're going to do this, but like if they were to try to take collectibles, like, dude, if they took that Steamboat Willie that I won from me, like, you know, that was like sent to me and like, literally, I know I did, like, yeah, I'd be pissed. Like I won't hide that. But I don't think they're going to do that. And I definitely think that, and again, our speculation, I think that everybody that's restricted, that's not directly involved with like the fraud, and I don't know how they're going to prove who is and who's not. You're gonna get your accounts back. Like I'm very confident in that. And there's people who I know that have their accounts restricted that have the same attitude. They're like, yeah, it sucks. I bought gems, off app. I'm restricted right now, but I'm gonna get my account back. So I don't think your fear shouldn't be at the end of the day, like, am I gonna get my account? Like if I was you, I'd be just as worried. I'm a very skeptical person. But you're gonna get your account back.
You see, I wouldn't be confident of that because I don't know enough probably to think that. So that's cool to hear you saying that. Like I just didn't know why they'd be restricted, but I guess because they're trying to investigate, right?
Exactly. Yeah, they're investigating the situation. So like as much as it sucks, the only way to investigate is to put a pause, and just say, okay, where did all this go? Where did it all circulate through?
Yeah.
Who was directly involved? I think where it gets trickier is if that guy say that, bought 420 Winnie the Poohs, like he probably bought like 100K worth of gems, at least 130K, pumped it all into Winnies. So for him, that's where it gets tricky, dude. Cause like, I don't think he'll remain.
Those 420 people have dirty gems.
Yeah. Well, and that's okay. So like, I think the best solution, which I heard in Spaces earlier, it just depends on where the exploit is. There's so much stuff circulating around. I'm probably going to get comments on this video like, oh, you should know that it's an exploit on Veve's end, or oh, you should know it's an exploit on Apple's end. Oh, you should know, because like everybody has different sources of information.
Mm-hmm.
But ultimately, I think the best case scenario is if it was an Apple exploit, which I don't even know if I'm allowed to say what I heard it was, like from like somebody I trust. But it was an Apple exploit. Then Apple has the finances and they have the insurance, I'm sure, to cover it. And hopefully they just take that L, cover it, because Veve's making them a lot of money through their fees. If it's on Veve, it's gonna be a little trickier because here's the problem, people think Veve has, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but they think that they have a lot more money than they do. But at the end of the day, when you're paying out those licensors, when you're paying out fees, when you're building your business, Ecomi is the company that owns Veve. Veve isn't Ecomi's only business. It just happens to be their most successful business. They have other stuff to work out before they can really get leverage on this stuff. So it's not going to be a walk in the park for Veve to eat $8 million. Like, like you might see it as a user and be like, man, they just made this many million on this drop. That's not exactly how it works. So best case scenario, Apple eats it. I don't know, man. I mean, we're talking speculation because like we don't know. We're gonna have to play it out, see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, I would say the only thing I would say to that is just obviously we don't know how much money they're making, but we can take the only solid numbers I feel like we have to take is the Ukraine drop, where they made like about $1 million, right? And they were able to donate.
I believe they said in the AMA they did not count, like they didn't include the fees or taxes or anything into that drop. Like that was I believe that was an exception.
Oh, I thought they said that only the profit from that would go for Ukraine. We can look it up. It doesn't. Anyways, we can fact check it, and people will roast us in the comments. But they made about $1 million on the drops, and then they donated about 800,000, right? 782,000. So there was a $200,000 loss in like fees and stuff, and obviously there wasn't a licensor to pay. There was an artist if they paid him, and so we have a little bit of intel there,
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I remember them mentioning something on the community update about it, but I could have heard wrong. I don't really remember exactly. Same. Also, with MTL coming, when MTL does come, they have to pay people out, and that's another thing to factor in. If they have, this is where we do need to bring up charts, but this wasn't the point of the conversation. We could have another conversation about that where we look at charts. But if there's this many million gems that are in the Veve app right now, and then there's this many users wanting to cash out, they need the money to be able to pay these users $1 to $1. So like hypothetically, if like everybody wanted to cash out at the same time, that's hypothetical, but like, that's another thing to like keep in mind here. So eating 8 million on top of that, like it gets a lot more complicated than when you're like, you first think about it.
Totally. And there's about 118 million gems sitting. The last time I looked at Put in Cheek's cart, just sitting, 118 million, just chilling.
Yeah. So what if that wants to be cashed out at the same time? Like, you think they're just gonna pull that out of their back pocket?
I'll give them a loan. I'll give them an IOU.
So I don't say any of this to FUD. I'm just saying being realistic. Like all that to say, 8 million is not a walk in the park right now for anybody except for maybe Apple.
I hate the
and
term
Veve might have
FUD.
insurance.
It gets used too much.
Yeah, I agree.
Everyone says FUD now. Everyone it's like their favorite word. Stop FUDing. Stop FUD. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I agree completely. Somebody asked, is it possible to get layer 2 OMI by swapping ETH for OMI on MetaMask? No, you get layer 1 for swapping on MetaMask, and
also expensive.
Yeah, I've done it a few times. I actually did it every day for a week.
Really? You swapped?
Yeah. So Brave Browser was doing this thing to where if you swap anything on Brave Browser, you get entered into a giveaway, and every day it was a different giveaway. And on the last day, they gave away a Bored Ape. On on one day, they gave away 5 ETH. On one day, they gave away like 5 Pudgy Penguins, which were like 3 ETH each. They gave away like 25 Solana. Like they gave away a bunch of big stuff. So I was like, I'll just swap for OMI every day. So I did.
Yeah, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. I didn't win anything, but it was cool because it's like, I might as well just DCA right now anyways.
Dude, that's awesome. No, I mean, I have a little OMI bag I'll carry it around with me. Hopefully we hit to, 1 penny again, 2 pennies. Let's go.
Yeah, man. Well, like I said, like there is like a bearish sentiment on OMI, and I understand why. Like, I mean, we talked about this beforehand. Like, I have my doubts. I'm a skeptical person, but like objectively taking a step back, and again, however Veve and Ecomi handle this situation, nothing has changed except for the buyback thing. The buyback, although it seems like a big deal, the OUP is going to be much stronger than buybacks. So I would rely heavier on the OUP and then NFT to OMI than I would on buyback. So like that's a pretty bullish like medium to long term, or even a medium term like outlook on it.
Let me ask you this: what's your favorite? This is why. So I tell people on my channel this all the time. I'm stacking gems and like things that I can get gems for 2 reasons. I felt a little too overexposed, and I think the future grails are going to crush. Are you like what are you expecting anything bigger than what we have now? I personally think like almost anything drops that Star Wars that's like a good character is going to possibly beat like a lot of the grails we have now. What do you think? Like I'm like bullish on that, like very.
I don't know, man. That's a good question. I definitely think like Vader would be a big deal. I think like Simba from Lion King would be a big deal. I thought Black Panther would be a bigger deal. A Miles.
Dude, Star Wars. Look at R2. R2 is 1/4 of the cost of Walt. 1/4.
Yeah. A Miles collectible would probably be a big deal. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like you're talking about current IPs that we have, like and then characters in those IPs.
I mean, even you could even go speculation, but I think even in current IP alone, you got like Obi-Wan, you got Vader, you got like Leia, Han, Chewie. You got the Millennium Falcon, the Death Star. These pieces, like those 7 alone, I feel like will beat R2. Like in my opinion, I think they'll all beat R2, which is 5K right now, by the way, or 4.5.
True. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Are you a big Pokemon fan?
Yeah, I've actually been like fidgeting with this ghastly card while we're talking. Yeah, I'm a big Pokemon fan.
Do you think we have the P word?
Yeah, I really do. But the extent of that, like I don't know. I definitely don't think it's going to be announced anytime soon. Like it could be even next year around this time. And I don't know exactly what extent we like of Pokemon rights we would have. Like for what I mean by that is like it's weird because this is live and like going back later, I don't want to just like go back and look and be like, oh, why did I say that? But like take Immutable X.
Speculating. I mean, who cares?
Here's my speculation. Let's take Immutable X for instance. I think Immutable X, when they first started, they had this glitch to where it did show a bunch of random stuff, but some of the stuff actually ended up being real. And in this, Kyle Wilson made a video on this. It showed Pokemon trading cards like TGC, and so it wouldn't surprise me if like Pokemon had other NFT deals, not via Veve, but Veve maybe has the 3D collectibles like in digital format. So like that wouldn't like come as like a complete shocker to me. You see HRO right now kind of like a little bit talked about throughout like the Veve community, and they have DC trading cards. You know, it's not an exclusive DC deal that Veve has. So it wouldn't surprise me like that. But yeah, I do think if we ever got Pokemon, that would absolutely rock the market. I am a big Pokemon fan, but it's also the largest IP in the world. So
I mean, dude, Charizard. If we get a secret rare Charizard, a 5 rarity Charizard, the secret rare, even if he's freaking 3,000 editions, dude, Charizard's gonna beat Todd. He's gonna beat Rizzo. He's gonna beat Walt. He's gonna beat he'll probably be up there with secret rare Spidey. Man, maybe beat him.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of the same way. I definitely think Pokemon will be competing with the top 3 Grails of Veve ever. Depending on when it drops, but for sure.
What are the top 3 Grails? Controversial.
Well, I don't own any of them, so I guess I can have a pretty like a non-biased opinion. I would say Secret Rare Spider-Man, obviously. I'll probably go Secret Rare Spider-Man, Walt, and Todd. As far as collectibles go, I don't, if I was separating from collectibles, it would obviously be like Marvel Comics #1, Secret Rare.
Okay.
This would be more on the comic guy side of things. Maybe Fantastic Four #1, and yeah. So I don't
separate them. Okay.
I would separate them. Yeah, I don't. It's just like I sort of apples and oranges to me.
Yeah.
So what would your top 3 girls be? You're gonna say Rizzo because you just told us that you got a Rizzo.
Yeah, I gotta pump my own bag.
Yeah.
No, honestly, you know what? I personally would probably say Secret Rare Spidey, and I might actually, as even a huge Disney fan, I love Walt. I mean, I don't know how many Grails we're allowed to have. There's no rules, but like I said, I think Star Wars is gonna whoop all these things' butts. I do. Some of these and I think Pokemon is gonna whoop all their, and the sleeper. I think that people aren't thinking about. I think some anime pieces are gonna whoop all these things' butts, like freaking Secret Rare Naruto. Like,
oh yeah, that'd be sick, dude.
Yeah, Naruto, and anime collectors love to collect useless crap. Like they buy it all the time. Like I have a bunch of anime friends, and all they do is buy dumb stuff all the time. Like they buy capes to wear around the house. Like I'm like, why? Why are we wearing these capes? Like I don't understand. And like you got a Goku. Oh, dude, Goku's freaking boss.
Yeah, man. Especially if we get some of these like 1-of-1s. Like how expensive is that going to be if we have a 1-of-1 different variants of Goku and Naruto? And we could rock them as PFPs. Like that would be sick, dude. Like
I don't know that we got some good, and obviously Pokemon's big speculation, but we have Star Wars. Like we have it. Like we know we have it. And I know I'm a Star Wars fan, but I mean, look at R2. R2 is $5K and Walt is 21. Like he's a fourth of the value. And it's like, and Walt Disney represents everything Disney. And that's because it's just Star Wars. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. I definitely think that Vader. So you're a big Star Wars fan, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking that FA Vader is gonna be a big deal.
Yeah,
so I didn't.
Oh, dude, what about FA Anakin? Are they gonna take Vader's FA by giving him to Anakin Skywalker?
As long as they don't use like episode 1, 2, or 3 Anakin, because then I'll just burn them because you're so freaking annoying.
Freaking little Andy.
Yeah.
Dude, we would lose the FA on Vader if they gave it to Anakin too.
That'd be
that'd be
true.
rough.
That'd be super rough. So yeah, I actually didn't watch Star Wars until I was in my 20s, and I just never thought about it. So
yeah,
I played the games, like I played Battlefronts and like some of the other racing games and stuff like that, and I was always familiar with it. But yeah, I didn't watch it until my 20s. I'm not like a super fan I'm not even a fan, I guess. Like I like the movies.
Yeah.
But I'm not like super involved. I didn't even watch Boba Fett. I watched like half the first episode, and I was just like, I didn't really get into it. So yeah.
Oh, did you like Mando though? Mando's like the new people's Star Wars for sure. It's beautiful. Mando's
didn't
beautiful.
watch. I watched episodes 1 through 6, and that's pretty much the extent of it.
You didn't like it as much?
Just being in this, I liked it for the universe and for the era, and like for it being in that time period. It was like so much appreciation for this like universe that they established and these characters that they made. But yeah, watching it in your 20s after having the tech that we have today, it was kind of like seeing Boba Fett like get introduced 1 second and then like last for like 10 seconds, then get eaten. I was like, what? Like this is such like a hyped up character. He lasted like 10 seconds.
Dude,
Like
I
that stuff was kind of like
that. I don't
Yeah.
understand why people like Boba Fett so much, because he had like no, like he just got eaten. I'm like, this is ridiculous. But he became BA in the show.
Yeah, and so I didn't. It was that type of stuff that was like, okay, this happened fast. This was kind of bumpy, and like the show itself was like, But like again, I appreciate the universe, and if I was watching that when it actually came out, you know, or like when I was younger and grew up with it, like it would have been a lot bigger deal to me. But as late in life as I watched it, I was like, I appreciate this. You know,
Yeah.
like
I totally agree with this comment, and I'm literally basing a lot of investing strategy off of this. Darth Vader going like the sound, and like any Jedi with a lightsaber with an animation on it.
that's true. That'd be sick.
Game over.
Yeah.
I mean, like, dude, I'm sorry. Secret Rare Spidey, 10K.
So you think we'll maybe get that in May?
You know, I don't like to talk about it too much because I'm nervous that people are going to get smart.
Oh
And
yeah, and save gems for May.
but
For May.
For anyone here that wants alpha, I mean, I don't know. I just, Veve could change it up on us, you know. But I mean, the market squeezed for Pokemon Day alone, and most of us knew it wasn't coming. You know what I mean? Like, after a while, we were pretty sure it wasn't coming, especially after the tweet, and the market still squeezed just on the thought. And Star Wars Day is in May. I'll say that. And Obi-Wan series is in May 25th. So, and
Alex, which he always takes the brute force, but he did say, I think he was joking around, but he did say in one of his tweets something about May. Like it's a very like generic, like I think people were getting upset that he was like giving too many like soons and wins. So he was like, we have something big dropping in May. But I think it was more of like a joke.
When did he say that?
It's been a while, dude. You
Oh,
have to do some tweet digging. Again, I don't want to like call speculation around Alex and give him more heat than he already has, because I think it was a response to like,
oh, he brings the heat on himself. He deserves it all.
I don't remember what his response to, but he's basically said like we're having a big drop in May, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think anyone, I don't know, man. All I know is that I'm also very nervous to talk about it because it could not happen in May, and that's totally fine. But I would say if you are not prepping for it now, you're going to be caught with your pants down hard, because when it starts getting close, people are going to start thinking about it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
May the 4th be with you guys, because it's about to be freaking fun.
Yeah. And kind of like to back up what you're saying, you're basically saying like even if it doesn't actually happen, the market's still going to prepare for it too late.
Oh, yeah.
So I love that approach, because like people all the time are like, they just assume that like the entire market's going to think like that, and they're like, oh, it's already priced in, but it's never priced in. Like most of our gem squeezes that have happened are not priced in. Like they wait, like Pokemon February 28th, like they waited till like the week before Pokemon to crash the market. You know, like they didn't start. Some people did. They started liquidating over like the first, like a few months before that, but like it's always like that week of, like people like remember and
it's gonna hurt. I'll tell you what, if they drop Secret Rare Vader and whatever you think, if it's 5 Vader rarities, if it's one Vader, if whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's not something like stupid, like Jar Jar Binks, like whatever. I mean, that'd be funny. I'd buy him. Yeah. But I'd buy a multiple and then burn one, you know, just for funsies. Like, especially if it makes like Jar Jar squeals, you know what? I'm just, how many spicy is it? You can't even contain the chilies of the spicy that will be what this is. Yeah, there's not enough spicy. There's not enough meaty emojis. There's not enough emojis to contain this. And it will hurt pretty bad. If you're not prepared, Vader will be very expensive.
I love it, man. We've been going for an hour, 20 minutes. So I think we're going to wrap it up. I will
Let's go.
Go ahead and just search your channel real quick, give you a shout out. For those that are not subscribed to you, let's see, you want more Dino, go subscribe to his channel.
Let's go. Come through.
And yeah, you live stream once every day, right?
Yeah, you should do once a day.
Yeah, live stream every day. You got a membership. I know you already got a pretty good amount of loyal followers. So
yeah, we got a good crew.
Definitely go check out Dino. Thank you so much. This was pretty last minute.
Yeah, it was fun, dude.
The point of this, I said at the beginning, but I don't know if everybody was here at the beginning. Like, There's just been a lot of negative sentiment lately, and I understand. I mean, there's been some really bad stuff happening. I don't want to ignore that.
Yeah.
But there are some good things to look forward to, and just some fun conversations to be had. I say it all the time, and I know some people are over leveraged. If this goes to 0, it's been fun. Like I enjoyed the people that I met. Like, seriously, like I enjoyed the people that I met. I enjoyed the ride that I had, the knowledge that I acquired, and the experience. If this goes to the moon, let's go to the moon together. Like no matter what, like you can call me a fudder for the first part of that statement or a moon boy for the second. I don't care. I'm ready to go either way, and have fun along the ride.
Dude, same. Totally agree. Love it, you guys. Like and sub to Cribbs' channel.
Appreciate it, everybody.